Hey guys, how are you doing? In this video, I will share with you what is my understanding of what's going on in our world. Let me start by making a few disclaimers. What I'm about to tell you is something that I have discovered through many years, more than 8 years of doing research, for sure more than 2,000 hours of trying to figure out what is going on in our world. And my intention is to soothe, to calm people's minds. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of information, or maybe I should say misinformation or disinformation. And my commitment is to leave you feeling calm, at peace, loved, and maybe with some happy anticipation for what I believe is about to unfold. It is actually a very positive storyline. Now, let me start going back 20 years. It was the year 2000, and I do not know how it is for you, but whenever I would read the newspaper, I would watch the news, and seeing the situation in the world, I kept on wondering, is this really the best we can do? Is this the world we have to live in? Somewhere very, very deep inside, it was telling me this cannot be all there is. Do you have that question too? That question, is this all there is to life? And I'm here to tell you that the answer is no. No, there is so much more. And when I ask myself, what is it that you would like to do with this feeling, this question, is this all there is to life? And that's when I said I would like to start a project that will create a world that works for all people. 20 years later, I'm here to tell you that whatever you think you see in the world, I am inviting you right now to open up your mind. It might be different. It might actually not be all doom and gloom. So, this is what my understanding is. And I can tell you there are millions and millions of people who are at a similar place. So, in our world, to give you a simplified version, there have been bad people controlling, manipulating, and corrupting the systems we live in. And it is a group with different factions. It's like a criminal gang, like a worldwide mafia. It's not just one country, they have people in different countries at key positions. They're very rich, they have a lot of power, but we have many, many more numbers. And when we wake up to the truth of what's going on in the world, we can change what we have been seeing. And I'm actually here to tell you that this change is happening right now as you're watching this video. So we have this hidden group of bad guys, having people at key positions, sometimes even as presidents, and they have been creating what we see: poverty, war, inequality, environmental destruction. Now, the good news is that for hundreds, if not more, years, there have also been a group of wise people who have seen this and very patiently, very diligently, they have been working on a plan to liberate our world. Now, what is going on now? My understanding, and I will give you in this post a link to all the research I have done so you can come to your own conclusions. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to open your mind and start doing your own research and trying to figure out what is really going on. If you understand what's happening, you get power to do something about it. So, what seems to be happening is that, again, the simplified version, the bad guys, they have put out this virus. And my understanding is that the good guys are now using this narrative. It looks like the virus is not as dangerous as the media is displaying it. This is partly because the media is owned by the bad guys, so the bad guys can say this is what the media should show us. And it might be partly that the good guys are allowing this narrative worldwide. All countries are uniting. The good people in the governments of all countries are uniting, taking support of the military to pick up the bad guys. And this might be as much as 500,000 people. So this is, it's an outrageous story. If you're hearing this for the first time, you might be shocked. You might have difficulties to believe. And if you're one who is feeling challenged, maybe you feel afraid, what is really happening? I'm here to tell you, I understand and I acknowledge your painful, disturbing thoughts and feelings. I completely acknowledge where you are, no matter where you are, no matter how you feel. I just want you to know that you are loved, and I'm really sorry that it's such a difficult situation. The military is getting into action, and they're gonna pick up all these bad guys. And after that, my understanding is there will be an announcement to the world that, hey guys, this is what has been happening in our world. We resolved it. And that means, guys, that we're gonna get a beautiful world. We're gonna move into a new golden age. I'm talking about new energy solutions, new healing technologies. Any disease can be healed. New non-polluting transportation solutions. And if I understand it correct, you are gonna see the end of war, the end of hunger, the end of poverty, the end of inequality, the end of environmental destruction. I want you to tune in to that because What we need right now is we need mature people, mature leaders who are holding the space. So this can unfold as smoothly as possible, as fast as possible. We're going to roll out of this worldwide lockdown and move into a world that you, maybe just like me, have been dreaming of. So what is the best thing for now? It's time for prayer, meditation, nature. If you're having people around you, it's time to be with the people you love. And when you do the inner work, you go inside, you can actually discover the truth for yourself. And it might take some time. I remember, I think it was last Friday, I had to do 3 hours of meditation, 2 hours of healing work. But then I came again to it's a space of truth. Because see, what's the problem is in our world, we are very identified with painful thoughts and feelings. So I want to ask you to think about having thoughts. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Is it that these thoughts that you consciously choose, hey, I'm going to think about this, and then the thought is coming? No, right? These thoughts, most of the time, they're coming on the autopilot. They're not consciously chosen. And therefore, I'm here to tell you that these thoughts, these painful, negative, sabotaging, separating, fearful thoughts are not yours. You can disidentify from those thoughts. You can ignore those thoughts. You can acknowledge them. Okay, I am thinking. It's all really bad. It's okay. Observe your thoughts, acknowledge the thoughts, accept the thoughts. And through that process, you can disidentify and you'll start to see if you repeat this process. Observe, acknowledge, accept. You'll start gaining power. Now this can take a couple of hours, but we have the time, right? What happens when you do this? You shift from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, from a lower state of consciousness to a higher state of consciousness. You shift from fear to love, connection, unity, knowing that all is well and all is love. If there's one thing I have learned in my 50 years of life is when I see something that disturbs me, makes me angry, makes me sad, makes me fearful, I know that this is an illusion. Stubborn, persistent, annoying, but it is an illusion. And if I start doing the inner work, if I start inquiring, I do research, and slowly I peel away the layers of the illusion like an onion. And when you peel an onion, you will come to that place, the core, and you'll start crying. And in this case, you'll start crying of sheer happiness. You start to see the reality of our life, which has been so covered up, purposely, maliciously, by, to say it simple, the bad guys. Now, I want you to understand that the problem is we are identified with painful thoughts and feelings. And all of us, we have the light inside of us and we have darkness inside of us, also known as the shadow. Now, what we see in our world happening, the bad stuff, to say it simply, is a reflection, a projection of our collective shadow side, the dark side. Now, if we as individuals, you, me, all of us, if we start doing our inner work, we start healing our shadow, our dark side, by shining the light there. Don't fight your shadow, that doesn't work. Observe. I'm afraid. I had many days where I was dealing with my fear. I observe it. I acknowledge that I'm afraid. I'm being honest. The truth will set you free, but yeah, you gotta go through a process. The truth can be a bit annoying. So I observe, I'm afraid. I acknowledge that I'm afraid, and then I do the inner work, bringing acceptance. And what is acceptance without conditions? That's what love is. So bring that love, bring that light to your anger, your frustration, your fear, your confusion. And then everything will change. Your entire experience of life will change. This is what we all need to do right now, as a lot of people are in this space. I need you. The world needs you to be a beacon of light. So you do your inner work, figure out what works for you. Prayer, meditation, if you can, still be in nature. Be in nature. Sometimes I just lay in my bed and I'm just holding myself and just being with the experience, loving myself. I would say that's one of the most difficult things, but that is what we need, that love. That will change everything. Maybe you think just like me that it's a bit annoying that there is no transparency. I'm aligned with that. But you gotta understand that this is where we are collectively. And it's no use to fight and resist that. That doesn't help. So for now, we just gotta acknowledge that, embrace it. And I believe in the time to come, we will have new, transparent leadership and a lot of amazing things will come to our world. I'll slowly start rounding up. Check out the link in this post, as there is so much more to say, but I don't want to make this message too long. I just want to say I love you, and I have faith that we're on the verge of a new golden age, and we're gonna get that world, a sustainable world, a world that works for all people. So be that beacon of light. Reach out if you can to the people around you and make that choice. You're gonna spread chaos, fear, and suffering, or you're gonna spread love and kindness, peace, faith, maybe a bit of joy. And I'm there with you. You're so wonderful. You're so beautiful. And I believe that we're gonna roll over into a beautiful, beautiful world. Feel free to reach out. If you have a question, you can put it under this post as a comment. Join the group. I'm giving the link in the post so you can inform yourself And I'm just going to say, see you soon in this beautiful world filled with love and abundance for all people.